everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Crossways. How you doing, Steph?
I'm good, are you?
I'm very good, very good. Feeling good at the moment because obviously my knee's feeling a lot better.
You're flying, are you?
I feel like I am flying a little bit, but sometimes I catch it.
Oh.
It's like, it takes it back to ground
To
zero.
be fair, though, you've been well busy.
I have been busy. But the thing is what I said about what I would do in respects of the TV work, depending on the knee and what kind of facilities they could give me, if I was going to do it or not, and they've been pretty good, to be honest.
And you did both England games.
Done both England games, yeah. Might as well get into that then.
Yeah,
so,
let's
you know,
go, because I think we need to speak about it, don't we?
It's funny because the German game, because of everyone's talking about it's the German manager's it's his first game, was it? And no one knew what to expect from them, but we knew what to expect from individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that the way we set up, I cannot understand how bad our so-called press was. Our lethargic, if I'm going to be using it, for want of a better word, how the legs in the midfield weren't there. The people broke through our midfield so easily. People weren't closing down. It was really disorganised.
I think from the first 30 minutes, I think from a physicality point of view, we always know that the Germans are that's what they kind of base their game on. And they were actually just running all over England, which is probably one of the first times I've seen that from a team in terms of, I think there's been so much speaking about the back four and the defence and the goalkeeper, and I'm it starts from the very front. And I think when you just said up there about the press, I'm one pass was killing two units. Easy. And I don't know, they just looked a lot sharper, a lot fitter, a lot kind of more together.
They were. For a team that obviously is the new manager, obviously they've got almost like the new manager bounce. So everybody's looking to try and impress him. But I thought not only were they physically and they just looked sharper, everything about them. And then obviously with us playing as poorly as we did, it was quite embarrassing.
Yeah, I just think even though it was 4-3, and you're thinking obviously that one of their goals was a penalty, which was never a penalty, and you're thinking what are we actually trying to achieve in the game? What is the game plan? Yeah. And I feel as though we have done so well, to win a Euros, to be in a final of a World Cup and come off the back of that, teams are going to come and try and take this European Championship off England, and rightly so. And I think for me, when you come to them games and just off experience and speaking to a lot of ex-players and just as a football fan in general, sometimes you have to do the nasty stuff first, and you have to win that battle. And as a team, you've got to sometimes in them moments just right, okay, we can't go pressing, we can't go chasing, and even though you want to, you have to be able to read the game and be right, okay, maybe for 5-10 minutes. And it's not negative. I think people see it as negative, and I'm just it's about playing the game.
Do you think as well, Steph? But I just thought that hasn't she worked on that? Because you can't have forwards rushing to the goalkeeper, then rushing to the left side centre half, and then all of a sudden Beth Mead flies in and leaves the whole left side open. The person who's in the middle, who obviously the goalkeeper or the defender wants to pass to, totally free. And then when she passes it to her, she lays it off one touch. And then I think it might have been Georgia, or it could have been, I don't know who it would have been, in fact, now I think they turned it outside, and that was it. They were in all down the side, and I'm thinking our midfield was way too in advance, so we've not worked on that.
No, and I think, for me, I don't know whether when you used to play, when things aren't going right, you then try and do things that you probably wouldn't normally do to try and change it.
What, close down for the fans?
Yeah, say you're on about Beth then, this is just not just about Beth, this is just about in terms of England's mentality on that day, is they try and do the extra bit, but actually the simple things are
exactly
what we do need to maybe strip it back a little bit. And I think teams are working out our formation. And I know what you're on about in terms of the whole team being over one side, because obviously looking at the back four, our back four is all the way near Lucy Bronze. We're not passing on players. We're tracking runners, which we shouldn't really be tracking. And then that leaves so much space on the opposite side for that Gwyn to score the second goal. And it's impossible for Jess Carter to get over there and try and close it down.
You think she couldn't get there? I thought, for me,
she was well past the middle of the pitch.
But then what happened is that when you look at that goal, because I think Kaz mentioned something about Anna Hampton's positioning, and I thought it was a good strike, but I thought that Gwyn just a touch leading in gave Jess Carter, it just gave her a fraction of an opportunity to at least to at least stretch in and do something. I thought that she got across, and then she stopped for me, Steph.
But if you like look at the stilly and like, I don't know, like basic rules of fullback is that you need to be like on the like centre spot. Like if it's on the other side, like be there, be able to turn your body, to be able to defend 1v1 situations, which I think that is probably an area that we need to work on all over the pitch, 1v1, because we're getting beaten far too much. We're getting chopped, we're allowing shots to go at Hannah Hampton, and it just becomes constant. And I just think like we just need to go back to the real basics. And for me, I was thinking about it on the train on the way down this morning, I was thinking, we have good players. There's no doubt we have good players. We have players like Lauren Hemp. We have players like Lucy Bronze that's done it for so many years now, experienced. And like, are we playing to these players' strengths or are we playing to the squad strengths? Because fullback's an area for me where, apart from Lucy, who is our fullbacks?
Yeah.
You're playing Jess Carter, who's primarily a centre half. You had Esme Morgan against South Africa as a left back.
Understand that.
Whereas our strength's in the middle, so like, can we maybe change? Is there another plan?
I was thinking as well with that though, Steph, is Alex Greenwood would never not be in my football team, especially the way we're playing at the moment. Looking at Georgia Stanway as playing in the six instead of Kira. I don't think that's a good ploy for us.
And you know what though, Ian? I think she's tried it. Like, this is for me, like, comparing the two games, I think we probably would have predicted the Germany team, the starting 11. But like for me, I think I like the fact that there was changes, and like the likes of Jess Naz had a little bit of experience, and you're trying different combinations, and there's obviously obvious starters that are going to start regardless in the Euros. The likes of Lauren Hemp, Lucy Bronze, Kira Walsh is going to start there. Then for me, I'm like, the other places, Georgia Stanway is probably starting as well, but like the other places are up for grabs.
Yeah.
And this is the time, you've got 8 months now to the Euros to be like, okay, let's see what this squad is. Because we talk about the strength and depth of squad, but is it actually there?
You know what I'm worried about as well from a mental side of it is like, if you're coming to play England at Wembley, whoever it is, that's probably one of the biggest games in your career.
Yeah.
And I think that what our girls have to start doing now, what they have to start thinking about is the mental side of the teams that are coming and how much it means to them to not only play at Wembley and do well, but to beat the European champions. And I think that what I saw with Germany is a German side that came there. Obviously, you know what I mean, they're playing at Wembley. They're gonna bring their best stuff.
Yeah, of course.
But what I saw from us is a team that we weren't playing with our heads high and our chest out. We weren't playing like champions. We're playing like
as though we've lost confidence.
Yeah, we've lost a bit of confidence, and you know what I mean. I'm hoping at some stage we can get it back, because you say about working us out. We know that if Kira Walsh, if there's a good press on Kira Walsh, and if Leah's not playing, or if Alex Greenwood's not playing, and we haven't got those two players from the back to help us to progress the ball, because Kira is taken out of the game through marking. And you know, if you're playing it into Kira and she hasn't got time to turn, she's not that person who's going to dribble past you. So we do need to have footballers in the team, Leah, Alex Greenwood. But teams can work us out, because once that's done, we seem to make even more mistakes, because we don't know where to go. We don't know, should we go long?
Yeah.
You know, should we? You know, we don't know where to go. There's
two
no
of our
backup
goals
plan.
of the last two games have come from people running in advance.
Yeah.
And that's a massive strength of England. I think for me, we have quick players up top. Say if Russo does play in that number 9 position, she likes to come deep, which I think she did it well against Germany. I think at times it's obviously just choosing when to do that right moment. But for her, I think you've seen a little bit more energy from Lesia, and I liked it, because I think she just wanted to try and do something. But we have Lauren Hemp, you have Beth Mead, you have Chloe Kelly, you have runs from midfield. I mean, I thought Grace Clinton played really well against South Africa. Yeah. I think for me, she's taken that club form into England, and we need people in the box, and that goal comes from runs in the box. And I think that's a strength. Like, work on them strengths and be able to find a way to go forward. Don't have to keep playing through the units, because South Africa counted us all the time when we're playing long passes, and it's the readable as a defender to be able to go, actually I'll step in and I'll play that. And obviously when they've got pace up front as well, it's like, how do you cope with that?
You know something I do feel sorry for? I feel sorry for Hannah Hampton. Because even with the Arsenal game, I know there was a couple of things she'd done in the Arsenal game, and I still feel that the Caitlin Ford goal was a goal which was you're going to look, should my goalie be beaten there, even though it was a really good strike, came in off the post, so obviously add some bend on it. But like there's a couple of things in that game. There's a couple of games, obviously in the German game, where I thought, you know something, this is the kind of performance where she needs to play again quick. And I thought that the South African game, even though Mary Earps started and made some good saves, I think that game she should have started, Anna, because I don't know where her head space is right as we speak right now in respects of confidence. And I think that when you look at South Africa, and it's a brilliant game, I thought that they done well to stay in it and then showed how dangerous they could be. But I thought this was a good game for maybe Serena to just have a bit of faith in her, a little bit more faith in Hannah, because I'm really worried about how she's going to deal with the fact that she had the game against Germany. She made a few mistakes, elementary mistakes in respects of some of the passing out. Obviously, there's one she dropped for the penalty goal. You know what I mean? People are blaming her for the first goal, which I think is pretty harsh. And I just think that this was a game she should have played. Yeah. Just for her own well-being, personally.
Yeah, because obviously in that Germany game as well, she made some good saves. Like she tipped one over the bar, and I'm thinking, oh my God, she's not getting that, but she actually gets it. And I think it's so hard because like these young players do need experience, and I like in them moments, especially when you've maybe not played your best, I think like what you're saying, it's like, okay, like the manager's got a bit of confidence as to go and play again. And then you build it that way a little bit. Yeah. But I just think for me, like the positive thing, and I'm trying to look positively, is that we have time, and is it better to do this now and be kind of going on this little bit of run of form with the hope of peaking for June? Yeah. And I think like speaking to some of the girls, especially after Germany, I think they obviously know that the performances haven't been great, which is good, because I'm thinking, okay, they want to get better.
How do they feel about it? Do they feel pressurised? Do they feel like, oh gosh, this is right, this is coming on top now?
I think for me, I mean, we spoke about before, this is just like, as a footballer, you've just got to just do what's necessary on the grass. I think you've just got to just do what you need to do to improve every single day. And I think as an England player, there's so much pressure now, even more so when you are the champions and you've been on this unbelievable run over a few years, that yeah, it is going to change, and football changes like that. But it's like, how do you kind of stay ahead of all these other teams that
who are coming for
like Germany, new team, new manager, new players coming through that are trying to impress and be on that stage. So I'm excited because I think this is good. This is learning.
You think it's a kind of like a reset?
It has to be.
It has to be, doesn't it?
I think there's clear evidence to be like, right, okay, like how do we become that team that everybody's striving to beat still?
Yes.
And obviously use the squad as much as you possibly can to be like, okay, we are prepped for this European Championship.
You know something, I know as much as people might say that the South African game was, it's a game we should be winning, and obviously we did win it, but Denmark really put them to the sword, didn't they? But I thought Grace Clinton, in whether it's going forward, whether it's in the midfield, tackling, or in defence, like clearing one off the line, I thought she's probably pushed herself forward. In respects of being in this squad and pushing people who are in the squad, I think.
I like her because of her physicality as well. I think like even just that bit, like I think we always focus on midfielders just being able to create and score and kind of like be the main person. But I'm like, it's just so much more than that, than just as an international footballer, there's just so much more than just that end part of it. There's so much more in terms of, are you getting the press right? Are you able to cover the distance? Because Ian, it's not just one game. It's like potentially 7 games over 3 weeks. And you've got to be able to keep that standard. And for me, I like the fact that she took herself on loan to Spurs last season. She's come back to Man United and she's one of their best players and their informed players.
He's moved Ella out to the wing a bit more now.
Yeah, she's playing off the left,
because she's so dangerous. I think the same with, what was I going to say, in respects of, like something like Leah. I think, again, this is a kind of a reset, because I'm watching her, and obviously since the injury coming back, she's still coming back. Yeah. Really. And obviously with the how can I say, the attention around her being England captain, you know what I mean, it is more microscopic for her.
Yeah, of course it is.
And, and I think that when you watch Leah, whenever she plays, she does play, it's a very dangerous game she plays in the passes, and you don't want to ever make her feel like she doesn't want to pass it through there, because she feels that that's her strength. That's her strength, because when she gets it right, it's brilliant. But I think that because she's coming off the injury, confidence isn't high, she's not played enough games. I think that maybe a little bit more fitness in respects of on the training ground, working harder on fitness and getting up to a level, because I think that when you get to those levels, your mind is clearer.
Yeah.
Because I think that the mistakes we're seeing from not only her, but like I think Georgia Stanwood, from people just giving the ball away.
It was sloppy. It was.
I
for
think
those technical players to be making such
it's
simple mistakes.
We're talking about,
but that's international football.
It is.
Like it really is.
And
because,
you get punished.
Yeah, and
but they're at the level. But what I'm saying as well, Steph, is that they're European champions and they know the levels they have to be to make sure that they keep teams. Like when people are coming for America now, America's like, right, we got to show these lot, man. We're the best. We need to get to that place where we say we need to show them. We need to go back to the basics, get things done easy, get it done concise, professional, so that people say, you know what, they're not on their game, but they're so tough. We need to do something about our midfield
that mentality
and protecting the back four.
I don't know, it is a mindset thing because, like, for me, you don't just lose all what you've done over the last 2-3 years. You just don't just lose it that quick. But with the likes of Leah, and we know that Leah is the captain and there is going to be so much pressure. I mean, I felt that as an England captain, regardless of what performance I had, and just know that there was going to be someone saying something negative. And you've got to be thick-skinned, you really do, and you've got to just ignore all the noise from the outside. But I think for me, like, you see how happy, well, she was angry when she scored, but I know that means a lot because it's just like, oh my God, but because there is pressure there. And for me, I think it is just more about getting back on the training pitch. And I just know that the girls will come back better from this. And it might take another couple of games. I mean, they've got America in the next international window, which that's another test. But there's no point of us going into games and easily winning them because it just hides everything. No. We need to actually really strip it back and just be like, right, okay, we're England. Like, we actually have to earn the right to do the play the way that we want to play. And yeah, of course, there's going to be times when teams are a bit better, but it's like, okay, in them moments, like, we do what we need to do and we're compact and we make us hard to beat. You know what was one of the biggest things that confused me watching the South Africa game is seeing Esme Morgan. I know she's playing now, Washington Spirit. She's playing, I think she's played the last 5 games, what I've read. Why playing her on the left there? Why play her on the as a fullback's an issue, and I don't understand why we haven't got any fullbacks. Surely there's young players coming through. I mean, I was thinking about this. I was like, Gabby George in my head. She's left-footed. She's versatile, but she's playing left back for Man United now, and she's physical, she's quick. She should have a go. She should have a look at her at least. Next camp, maybe, like, if she keeps playing well for United, like, get her in there and just see, because that balance is crucial. Like, Alex makes a difference when she's left-sided and she's left-footed, and it does make a difference to the pitch. But imagine if we had a left-footer on left back. Yeah. And I think, obviously, Esme, she's played there a few times for City previously, but her position's a centre-half. It's not on that. It's not on the full-back area, you know? I was pleased to see Jess Naz as well. She made some good runs in the first half. I was hoping she would get an opportunity to score off, which is very composed, setting up Leah in the box. She made some good runs. So it was good to see her play. I thought that Aggie Beaver-Jones would have got some minutes. Yeah,
because
I like
listen,
Aggie. I think she's good.
Let's see, England Player of the Year. We know what she's capable of. Obviously, she's going through a little bit of a patch in respect of scoring, but she's still playing well. I'd probably have the way Aggie Beaver-Jones has started the season, I probably would have given her 15 minutes. Yeah. Just between her and Jess Naz, just have a look at her. Just to, like, mix it up a little bit, just mix it up a bit. And also South Africa, like, they're the types of teams where they make the game difficult because they break it up so much. They're so physical in terms of pace. And sometimes you could see that they didn't really have a plan. I'll tell you what, if they did have a plan, especially if they were able, I saw them trying to play out from the back. I don't know what that was about, because they played out from the back and then they just blasted it up anyway. Yeah. If they get a player who can play in that midfield and get on a kind of like a Kira Walsh fight with that physicality, and they're able to then, with the pace they've got up front in Cagliana, then they are going to be a problem for people, because once they can control the game as well and pass it around and bring teams on them and pass through the lines, which I didn't see them do too much of yesterday, hardly at all. With that kind of pace, that pace was like, it was beautiful to watch. As much as you don't want to see your players getting...
For 90 minutes as well.
Don't want to see them getting roasted like that. But Jesus, that pace was electrifying.
I like the simplicity of it though. Like, she knows her strength. She's like, okay, get out of my feet and just run.
But Mary made some very good
Mary
saves.
Did well,
Again, you look at it and you say about the reset, and I know we're going to move on now. It might be a reset and a good time to reset. And I'm hoping that in that reset, we're going to do more on closing down, midfielders in what position you are when we do close down, what the trigger points are going to be, so as we've got a solid system of how we're going to go forward. But what I'd like to see is, I'd just like to see us playing with more confidence.
Yeah.
A lot more confidence than we're playing with at the moment. And we do need to have a plan B, personally.
Yeah,
because it seems like when Kira's not there, Leah's not up to speed yet. If we're not going to be playing Alex Greenwood, I don't know how we're going to get the ball forward, apart from Millie diagonal.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to think about, but like you said, it is a reset and there's a lot to work on.
I've got time, yeah.
So Ballon d'Or, you was there, weren't you?
Yeah, it was
it really
cool.
cool?
Yeah, it was cool.
People dressed really nicely.
Yeah, honestly, like everywhere you went in this hotel was
ladies
just like
so glamorous.
Strong aftershave.
Is it? Who was the most impressed in respects of the clothes? Who would you say was like, wow, you look stunning?
Yeah, Bon Matty. She was, yeah.
Jesus, Bon Matty.
This white dress, yeah.
She did look pretty.
Make out my accent there, yeah.
No, I didn't take it. It's just like, the way you say Bon Matty to the way I say it, it's much better.
You know what? It was actually really cool. For me, like, I've never been to one like that, and like literally there was just superstars everywhere, like men's and women's game. Turn. But the only thing that was disappointing was it was on international break for the women's.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I saw Lucy Bronze speaking about it. Emma Hayes mentioning and why they put it in. Why would you want to put such a prestigious awards show on with women in the game and it's detrimental to the women? They can't be there on international duty.
So there was only really the Barca girls there.
So disrespectful. Yeah. It's so disrespectful. You know what else? No goalkeeper prize. No young player prize.
The Copper Trophy.
No goal scorer prize. It's almost like it's an afterthought. You know what I mean? The women's just say, you know what? We're not coming, man. You lot move from us.
It was funny because Barca won Club of the Year for the women's, and the president's speaking about the men's game, and I'm just like, oh my God, come on.
The disrespect.
Yeah, I think that was what I was going to say, is that, like, I think for something like that, I think it has to be, the date has to be so crucial so everybody can go. But also, like, why aren't the awards the same for both? Like, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
What's the incentive for the goalkeepers, the young player?
Yeah.
What's the incentive for the goal scorers? Are you not going to be there and be recognised as like a woman goal scorer?
It's,
It really
we
is.
need to keep pushing them barriers, definitely.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's blatant. It's so blatant that they obviously do not care enough. And
then, it takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the presentation to do. But you know what I mean? It's like someone's moment. Like, that's the thing for me. I'm like, to get recognised in that moment is like,
on the world stage.
And because football is a team game, to get them individual honours is like, it makes it even better. But yeah, obviously the main girl that won the main prize was
she was
Bon
deserving.
Matty.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Caroline Hansen second.
Yes. People are saying she's very, very unlucky. She is very unlucky, but
I think her stats in terms of Hansen, I think I've got them down here. 40 appearances, 32 goals, 28 assists as a winger is, pretty impressive. But you look at Bon Matty, 41 appearances, 19 goals, 18 assists from midfield. But for me, sometimes I think we so focus on the stats. But Bon Matty, as a player for the last couple of years, is in consistency and influence on a game. Yeah, she's way above anybody else in terms of both feet, big moments, Champions League winner, scored the winning goal. Like, big players make their moments happen, and she's definitely one of them.
I saw them put... Again, it's like somebody's just like throwing darts at everybody else in respect. So they do Bon Matty, but the people who are doing it are throwing darts, because I'm seeing like Lauren Hempin 28.
I know.
It was just like so annoying.
But this is what the whole thing is, the Ballon d'Or, is that it's get voted by 100 journalists. Okay, so like, how do these 100 journalists, like, how are they able to hone in on all these players? Like, I think of Yui from City, and I'm thinking, oh my God, like, in terms of Rodri, who won the men's, like, her influence is as big as him, but City haven't won the trophies yet. But if they do win the trophies, does that mean that there's a potential for her to kind of get higher in the Ballon d'Or? But like, for me, sometimes it's still in that place where it's, if you have the biggest name or the biggest PR, then you get to be in them top 10. But then there's some players like Bonmati, Hansen have thoroughly deserved to be in their positions because of the seasons that they've had.
We had Mariana Caldenti, she was 8th.
Yeah.
Lauren James, 13th. I think that's pretty good for Lawrence in respects of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Really announced herself, obviously not the sending off, but as a player and what she's capable of doing. I think that, if I'm going to be totally honest, if Lauren gets everything right and she can match the ability that she's got with her preparation and a endeavour to get to the top, she will win. I think she'll win that at some stage.
She has a different drive this season.
She does. She definitely does.
Yeah.
So, apart from Bonmat, we have to wish her all the best and congratulations. But other than that, you lot messed that up.
We're not happy, are you?
No. No. I do have to explain because I don't want people to think I'm just being meanie pants. I'm not being meanie. I'm not being a meanie. I'm just saying, they need to do more, and people need to say stuff like that so as then they can understand it's not going unnoticed.
Yeah.
It's not going unnoticed.
No.
Do more. Do better. Better, Clive.
Right, okay, Ian. WSL's back.
Yes.
Man United Arsenal's probably the biggest fixture this weekend, do you think?
Yes, it is. I'm very impressed with United up to this point. Obviously, I'm worried about Arsenal and the lack of decisiveness and obviously lost the manager and the confidence in the squad at the minute. Games we should be winning, we've not won up to this point. So it's a big game for United as well. I think it's the first proper game they're playing against a team of Arsenal stature. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play and how they line up. But I think they should be coming into it with a lot of confidence, United.
Yeah, I would think so. I think to have 3 wins and a draw against Brighton, I think they might be disappointed with the Brighton result. But Brighton are a team that have really impressed me so far this season, and they made it difficult. But I think for me to have that game and Man United at home, it's going to be a tough test for Arsenal, especially with the managerial change, the form. But I think in Man United's camp, I think they should be happy with how they've played. Yeah. I think they've kind of gone into games and they've beat teams quite smoothly, to be honest, without any problems. Yeah. And you've got players that are in form as well, the likes of Clinton, and you've got Turland. We like Turland, don't we? Like her. So they have that focal point for their team now. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm doing the game for BBC actually, so that'll be quite good to be there and see it in person. But the interesting thing for me is the crosses, what Bizet has been putting in, and Turland, she's so good in the box. I think that's something that we're going to have to really be focused on. Yeah. I think this is a game where hopefully for Sleggers, she can get it right in the intensity that we need to show. We need to make sure that we're showing Man United something where they've not seen yet. Because if I'm United watching Arsenal in the last game, I'm looking forward to the game. Yeah. So Arsenal have to come out in a way that makes United say, I weren't expecting this. It has to be intense. It has to be fast. And especially at Lee Sports Village, I think it's going to be intense with the crowd and Arsenal going there, and it's Man United Arsenal, and everybody's fighting for a Champions League spot. But yeah, I agree. I think glimpses of when Arsenal played Man City in that first half, when they've got runners going forward, they've got energy, they're organised. That is what you look at Arsenal and go, that is their best version. So it'll be interesting to see what team she starts with for sure, but it will be a good game. I wonder if she'll go with Leslie or Stina. Kyra Cooney crossed to see the goal. Kyra scored. Yeah. So happy. Yeah. You're buzzing, yeah. Yeah, to be honest, in this international break, a lot of Arsenal players have been scoring goals. Something that we're not doing. Yeah. A lot of players have been scoring goals. Katie McCabe scored goals, and even Beth Mead assisting. Maybe it came at the right time, the international break. You think? Do you know what I mean? Obviously you change the manager, interim manager in, and sometimes you do need to maybe go away from a club environment to right, okay, I've got a few days off, come back in and I'm focused kind of thing. And just to kind of, we speak about reset for England, this could be it for Arsenal. Obviously, we don't really know what the future holds in terms of that position. But I think as players, my mentality would be that. I'd be like, right, okay, I've had that time away with my country. I've trained well. I've performed well. However that might look, but then be like, right, okay, we've got a big game on Sunday. This is when we can turn it round. And I'm hoping because obviously Kim Little no longer goes to the international squad. I'm hoping that in this time that she's had a nice break, a nice rest, and she could come back a bit more energised. She looked a little bit in the games leading into
the international break. She just looks a little bit kind of lost in there, whether it's defensively, midfield, or in the 10 area. She's just not been quite right. So I'm hoping that might give her a little bit of a boost. Maybe Sleggers has worked with the players where she's maybe instilled something. I'm hoping something different.
When you're in international break, you just work individually.
Something different.
And you need
Steph.
Kim Little as well, because she's the captain, and she's that, like, in the middle. She, like, the one that creates the tempo, controls the intensity, and we know what Kim Little's about. You know her importance in terms of goals as well, and it's like, how do we get her back to that kind of form? But I think as well, when you're captain, like, there's so many extra pressures that people don't know about, and obviously I'm sure she's been involved with a lot of conversations about what happens next, and sometimes that does seep onto the pitch. But for me, I think the idea of retiring from international football for Kim was to get that reset, so then she's ready to go again Arsenal, and I've no doubt that she'll be able to turn that round.
I think Turland in that box I mentioned, like there with Bissay crossing, it's going to be interesting to see that match up, her and Leah, and especially our Leah. I don't know how Leah will be feeling coming off of the international break, obviously scoring a goal, but making a couple of mistakes along the way. I just want her to get on that place where she's just like, she's zoned in. And I think Turland's going to give our defenders the kind of test that they're going to need to be at their best concentration.
And working together as a unit, I think that's big. I think sometimes, like, in a defensive position, like, you can maybe make judgment on yourself, but there's so many other things that you've got to kind of take into, like, consideration when you're stepping out to maybe press a centre forward. If you've got cover of people, like, having each other's backs, and this will be a test for Arsenal. But I think Man United, from an attacking point of view, look really, really good, especially in them wide areas.
Yeah, they're getting the crosses in.
Exactly. I think Leah Galton as well. She's really strong, physical runner, and I'm excited, but obviously Arsenal can hurt Man United. They haven't really been tested as much as we thought this season in terms of playing against good strikers, playing against pace, and they're quite a young back four.
So we'll see how that pans out. What do you think for Man United? What do you think success for Man United this season?
I think it has to be Champions League.
You think, yeah? Mm-hmm. I think we need to do something drastic. Well, I need to see something drastically change up to this point in respects of what we're seeing with the team at the moment, and this is why I'm open for the manager's sake that she's done something different to what Jonas may have done, so as it can just give them a little bit of a boost to go into this game, because it's a big game, and I think it's one that can, if Arsenal can win it in the form that United are in, even though people are saying I've not really played anyone, this is different. I think it will be a big moral boost for our players. We just need a few of our players to have good games. And I think take the chances.
That first 20 minutes is always crucial. I think if you can start well and build that confidence, and you can kind of, like, create a little bit of fear for the opposition, then I think then you know you're on top as players. And then as the game goes and you kind of maybe creating chances or scoring, I think for me, not only the win but the actual performance and what that looks like for Arsenal is massive.
When you look at United and United's credentials, a game that if they do win this game, in respects of going forward, what do you see for United? Because I think they've been coming for the last couple of years. I think Skinner, they've been very patient with Skinner. I think he's slowly getting it going now with the players he's got. He's got Ella Toone, he's got Grace Clinton doing well. Turland's coming in, she's started very well. Bizet with the crosses. Do you think that this is a Man United side that can properly challenge for the WSL this season and qualify for Champions League?
I do, actually. I think based on the performance I've seen this season, I think if it's a Man United win this Sunday, I think in terms of the league itself, everybody knows that Man United are coming. And I think to be top of that league potentially by the end of Sunday, or they play earlier than all the rest of the teams, just even for that hour, 2 hours, whatever it might be, from a confidence point of view, and actually what Mark Skinner's building for Man United. I mean, we speak about Clinton, we speak about Turland, great sign, bringing Clinton back, but also Dominic Janssen bringing that experience in that midfield has been massive for them. Them two.
And
that's what United were lacking last season, was that little bit of experience.
They do look more solid, and the experience was missing.
They just know what they're doing. If you're watching, like, how they move, and if someone's jumping out to go and press, you know what the other one's going to do. They know they're going to fill in for each other, and they've got players to bring off the bench as well in them forward areas that can change games. And for me, I think Sunday is massive for both clubs, but I think if Man United do come out on top, I think for me their realistic expectations is to be in that top three.
You think?
It has to be. I think for a club like Man United, it has to be in that top three to get Champions League football next season, and especially with the signings that they've made, and Mark's going to build in his team now. Top three has to be, It has to be.
It especially the way they've started.
Yeah, I think especially with the way that they have started, they've had good fixtures to build that momentum as well. And Brighton was probably a little bit of a curveball, but that's not a disrespect on Brighton because they're playing really well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think for me this will tell a lot for this season. That's this game on Sunday.
Hopefully Arsenal can show up and start showing their credentials.
You know when you just want a good game? I just want them to show the best versions of themselves and be like, right, okay.
That's the thing, Steph. I'm not fussed about losing the game. It's the manner in which you lose. It's always the manner in which you lose.
Yeah.
And seeing good players not playing to their potential and good players not doing the simple things well, so as you can put a team under pressure. You know, because like I say, if Man United can start well and do well, the Arsenal I've seen up to this point, which I'm hoping that we can change something in this international break. You know what I mean? It's they might crumble under that. So they need to show something. They need to do something. It's a reset for them.
And Man United just need to keep doing what they're doing.
Keep doing what they're doing, yeah. Unfortunately for them.
I know.
Hopefully they don't keep doing
I don't mean that, by the way, before I get absolutely slated by fans.
No, don't get slated. No, we don't get slated. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week. But I thought it should be a good week. I'm looking forward to this weekend of football, Steph. It should be good.
After national football, it's been,
I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see you again next week.
See you later,
Take
guys.
it easy, man.